Everyone wants you to shut up.
And yet I won't. Case in point.
Welcome back to your favorite short form commentary about whatever we talk about here today, man. After watching Marty Supreme, I thought I'd do a small video. It was a really good movie. The main thing that I really want to talk about is when I was watching Marty Supreme was the comparison between Marty Supreme and another movie that I really love, Forrest Gump. The difference between the two, what I found was both of them kind of going through life differently, but also kind of succeeding at the end of the day, and showing the difference between like innocence and ambition. We can start off with winning, right? With winning in America, winning in the urban setting, winning in the modern day. And what if I told you there was two ways to win, where one, you're running forward 100 miles an hour, right into the wall, and the other one, you don't overthink it, just do it and you live and you go through life. And that's what we're going to compare today, compare and contrast Marty Supreme and Forrest Gump, why they represent two completely different survival strategies for life and how to quote unquote winning. So we can definitely start off with Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, if you haven't watched, is very similar in a sense of Marty Supreme, where you're kind of just watching someone live their life, go through it, and go through this crazy antics to the person that you know today, right? To the kind of the present where it catches up. Forrest Gump doesn't chase greatness. If you watch the movie, he's effortlessly going through life just how it is and how he understands it, right? He doesn't manifest, he doesn't build a brand, he doesn't network, he just kind of does. He just shows up, and somehow history kind of wraps itself around Forrest Gump. Everything that's happening outside of his own life and ideas are kind of just happening, and he's living through it. He goes to Vietnam for the war, also an amazing ping pong player, and he opens a shrimp business. He goes through the presidential meeting. As the world is changing so differently around Forrest, he never changes who he is throughout the whole movie. He's consistent, he's so innocent, he's loyal, and he's honest. And the movie kind of rewards him for being that, just being him, and it's kind of all just gonna end up working out. You literally see Forrest grow up from like a kid to him in college being an amazing football player to running all of a sudden across America. He's doing these things because he's just doing them, and the world is gonna revolve around him. And it's almost saying that he has this pure innocence and joy that's just moving forward, and life will just end up working out. And he doesn't win because he's strategic and he's analytical. He wins just because he's steady, he's moving on his own accords, on his own pace. Now Marty Supreme is the definition of locked the fuck in. Bitch, I'd rather die! He is doing anything he can in his power, in his movement, in his audacity to get what he wants. He doesn't drift from the plan. He navigates, he knows the social dynamic, he knows the power, the perception, the image. He knows what he wants to be and what he is. Marty wants to aim for the top. He wants to aim for the number one. He wants to be the best. He knows everything that he's going to touch is going to turn into gold or whatever. That's from his ideology. He's competitive in everything. He's such an asshole in this movie. And the thing is, he survives by consistently adapting, almost opportunistic, where he's going to take every advantage that he can over people in order to ensure his own needs. He's kind of win at whatever cost, right? He's always adjusting. He's coming back. He's like, okay, this is the plan. I'm going to get to Japan. This is what it is. I want to beat Endo. I'm going to do this. What's the real difference? So what's the real divide that I find is that Forrest Gump believes the world will meet you halfway if you're good. If you're pure, if you're innocent, everything will eventually work out, which is great. But Marty believes that the world will respect him regardless of what he does. and will respect you if you understand it. One is innocence, the other is ambition. One trusts the system, the other one is going against it, studying it, making sure where they can find the advantages. But if we're being honest, you can kind of see that Marty's expectations of the world is kind of what the real world looks like. You have to be competitive, you have to position yourself. But it doesn't mean that Forrest's idea of the world or how the world wraps around him is outdated. It's just a different way of thinking and living. Now, I believe there's a full balance between the two. You can't just live life vicariously, passively, I guess, but you can't try to manipulate every single sector of it. That's where the moderation kind of kicks in. I think you need to position yourself in scenarios where you know you're going to thrive, which is great, but you also need to reflect on the things that you can change, the things that will wrap around your life, and you need to be adaptable in those things and still be able to kind of reach those goals. It makes sense because we live in a world that's obsessed with performance, right? And the sincerity that Forrest Gump has is very rare, and these rare things are very, very powerful. So what did we learn? We learned that Forrest Gump is really good at ping pong. We also learned that Marty Supreme is very, very good at ping pong. From Forrest Gump, we kind of learned that it's consistency, loyalty, and character lasts longer than the hype. Forrest Gump, the fact that I'm talking about it today in 2026, could be the reasoning of why you remember this kind of happiness, this innocence, I would say, from the movie and the main goal of the movie that it takes. With Marty Supreme, it's a really good movie, but will it stand the test of time? Will it be just a flash in the pan? What we can learn from Marty Supreme is that awareness matters, intention matters, shaping your own path, literally locking in.
They don't know me, son!
Doing whatever it takes to get to the next top, to the next step, to the next floor on the elevator. You can do it. You can do it literally through willpower and insanity. You can do it. But will you be a good person afterwards is the question that he doesn't fight with himself in the movie, but you kind of question it as you're watching him progress. Even with times that he can redeem himself, he just constantly disappoints you. And the real reason with this is that we can't choose. It's balance, like I said. Everything is in moderation. We have to be sincere, but not naive. Be ambitious, but not hollow. And run when it's time to run, basically, right? We strategize when it's time to strategize. We do the things when it makes sense, and we have to put the commitment in when it makes sense. And I think we can't just passively move and control everything. We just need to know when to do both and how to do both. If you're liking the content, I'm trying to push these out as much as I can with the time I have. And please like and subscribe, and we will be back talking about whatever we're going to be talking about in the next video. Thank you. Bye.
Batman is sorta gay. Be right back.